Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to 3 Minute Reviews, where I talk about all things gaming. Today, I have a very important topic to discuss with you: why we need Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 Remastered. As you probably know, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is one of the most iconic and influential games in the history of the genre. It was released in 2001 for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, and other platforms, and it introduced many features that are now staples of the series, such as the revert and spine transfer. It also had a killer soundtrack, a diverse roster of skaters, and some of the most memorable levels ever, like the airport, the cruise ship, and Canada. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 was critically acclaimed and commercially successful, selling over 2 million copies in the US alone. It is widely considered to be one of the best games of all time, and it has a loyal fan base that still plays it to this day. However, the game is also showing its age, especially compared to the recent remakes of the first two games, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, which came out in 2020. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 was a fantastic remake that brought the classic games to the modern era with updated graphics, gameplay, online features, and more. It was developed by Vicarious Visions, a studio that has a lot of experience and passion for the Tony Hawk franchise, and it was praised by fans and critics alike. It also sold very well, becoming the fastest-selling game in the series. So, naturally, many of us were hoping that Vicarious Visions would continue their work and give us a remake of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and maybe even 4 as well. In fact, Tony Hawk himself confirmed that this was the plan and that they were working on it until something happened that changed everything. Vicarious Visions was merged with Blizzard Entertainment. Yes, you heard that right. In January 2021, Activision, the publisher of the Tony Hawk games, decided to move Vicarious Visions from their own studio to Blizzard, where they would work on Blizzard's projects, such as Diablo 2, Resurrected. This meant that Vicarious Visions was no longer able to make Tony Hawk games, and that the plans for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 were scrapped. This was a huge blow to the Tony Hawk community and to the gaming industry in general. Vicarious Visions was one of the few studios that understood and respected the legacy of the Tony Hawk games, and that had the talent and the vision to make them great again. They had proven themselves with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and they deserved to keep going with the next games in the series, but instead, they were taken away from their passion project and forced to work on something else. Now, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against Blizzard or Diablo, and I'm sure Vicarious Visions did a good job with Diablo 2, Resurrected, but I think it was a terrible decision by Activision to take them away from the Tony Hawk games and to leave the fans hanging without a proper remake of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. So, what can we do about it? Well, first of all, we can show our support for Vicarious Visions and thank them for their amazing work on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. We can also show our appreciation for Tony Hawk, who has been trying to keep the series alive and relevant for over 20 years. And most importantly, we can make our own voices heard to show Activision that we want the remake of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 that we deserve. We need Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 remastered because it is a masterpiece of gaming and because it is a part of our culture and our history. It is a game that inspired millions of people to pick up a skateboard or a controller or both and to have fun and express themselves. It is a game that deserves to be preserved and celebrated, and to be enjoyed by new generations of gamers and skaters. So, let's make it happen, people. Let's make some noise, and let's get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 remastered. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.